Iron Mike, the Kid Dynamite, the most dangerous man on the planet. All these nicknames were deservedly awarded to the young legend of boxing in the 90s. Today, we will tell you how this boxing prodigy earned his titles and was honored to be inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame. Today, you will learn how the most popular figure in boxing rose to his pedestal and claimed the title of the richest boxer in the world. We will walk with you through his ups and downs. Let's begin.
To the gang, we done made a team. Glock come with a laser beam. Lay them down, I ain't playing around when I'm in your town, but I'm off the lean. Like subtitles, I be on the scene. With this block work, I'm getting major cream. Like yo. I see them peeping my swag. I see them peeping my bag. Like this, that shit they never had. Like whoa. Pride to go up in my joggers. All of these rappers are really my kids, cause I birthed them and they call me father. Be a hoe. The streets be talking, they know. They know you wrote all them names in your statements and they know you told on your bro. For the street shit I bees with. Glock 45 for the bullshit. If I ain't got it, then my brother do. He'll hit a nigga and his mother too. Savage shit, I take your girl and pipe it right. I ain't bagging shit. These town niggas be...
We'll start, as is traditional on our channel, with the childhood of the hero of this story. Young Mike was born on the outskirts of Brooklyn. His mother, Lorna, worked tirelessly as a custodian at a women's detention center in Manhattan, while simultaneously studying to become a teacher. Mike's father was believed to be a local pimp, Jimmy Kirkpatrick Jr., but at the age of 38, the boxer discovered that he was actually the son of a Jamaican native named Purcell Tyson. Mike never saw his biological father, nor did his brother Rodney and sister Denise. Tyson's childhood was far from easy. In Brownsville, they were constantly being evicted, and living conditions grew worse and worse. The family lived in houses slated for demolition, without heat, without water, and sometimes even without electricity. And as often happens in such stories, Mike's life took a turn for the worse. He got involved with crime and bad company. The boy couldn't fight at all, even though his physical abilities were impressive even at such a young age. Mike received his upbringing and education literally on the streets. Until the age of 10, he couldn't stand up for himself at all. But then, one of the local gang members snatched his beloved pigeon from his hands and tore off the bird's head. Tyson retaliated by attacking the offender and beating him up, earning respect from the gang members. In turn, they taught Mike how to steal and rob. Tyson also mentioned that his mother associated with men who drank and used drugs, as well as women of easy virtue. This negative experience, in a way, had a positive impact. Because of his antics, Mike often ended up in juvenile correctional facilities. It was there that Tyson met one of the most famous boxers, Muhammad Ali, and from that moment on, he began to consider a career in boxing. Quote, "One day, we were all brought to the auditorium to watch the film The Greatest of All Time about Muhammad Ali. When it ended, we started applauding, and were stunned to see Ali himself walk onto the stage. It was unreal. He didn't even need to say anything. The moment I saw him, I decided I wanted to be like him. He spoke to us, and it was incredibly inspiring. I had no idea what I'd been doing with my life up to that point, but now I knew I wanted to be like him." From that moment on, Mike began to get his act together and radically change his life. The boy started associating less with bad company, but such an environment doesn't just disappear. He still found himself getting involved in their affairs. At that time, the boy couldn't have imagined that he would become the most popular and famous boxer. However, at the age of 12, the boy pushed his luck too far and ended up in a special school for juvenile delinquents. At the special school, Mike met a physical education teacher who happened to be a former professional boxer named Bobby Stewart. Tyson told him that he wanted to become a boxer. Stewart agreed to train the unruly teenager on the condition that he improved his academic performance. Mike held up his end of the deal and became one of the most diligent students. By the age of 14, Tyson had surpassed his teacher, and Stewart decided to introduce his student to the legendary boxing trainer, Cus D'Amato. D'Amato, in turn, was impressed by the young boxer. After the death of Mike's mother, D'Amato took custody of him and practically adopted him, bringing him to live in his home. Mike later said that his trainer couldn't believe the boy was only 13 years old. Their partnership worked perfectly. Tyson did everything D'Amato told him, studied a lot of boxing theory, and combined with his natural talent and constant training, Mike became unstoppable in the ring. In 1986, after the death of his mentor, Tyson, at just 18 years old, achieved the goal they had been working toward together. He became the youngest heavyweight world champion. At 15, Mike made his boxing debut at the Holyoke Club in New York, where he was nicknamed Tank. Back in 1981, out of 6 fights, Tyson lost only 1. The young boxer achieved this result thanks to relentless training under D'Amato. A year later, Mike became the winner of the Junior Olympics. Tyson was considered one of the favorites for the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics, but lost in the qualifying rounds to the future champion Henry Tillman. Although Tillman was famous for his endurance and pressure, he was no match for the 23-year-old Tyson. The young fighter immediately went on the offensive, and his ferocity was noted. Mike didn't stop pressing his opponent, and the fight ended with a crushing knockout.
Quickly, Tillman goes to the familiar role. Steady movement. Try and use the jab and keep Tyson off you.
After the fight, Mike was surrounded by the press and paparazzi. On the professional ring, Mike made his debut in 1985. That year, the boxer fought 15 matches and defeated all his opponents by knockouts. In the same year, Tyson lost his mentor, D'Amato, who passed away at the age of 76 due to pneumonia. This was a heavy blow for the young boxer. It was D'Amato who brought in 2 of Mike's trainers, Teddy Atlas and Kevin Rooney, to work with him. With them, he competed as an amateur, and then transitioned to the professional ring. Additionally, the specialist hired managers, Jim Jacobs and Bill Caton, to handle the boxer's career. In November 1986, Tyson fought his first title bout against Trevor Berbick. The fight began with an exchange of blows between the 2 opponents, each trying to seize the initiative.
Him out here, but he goes with that right-hand lead right away. You get the idea now that Berbick is showing a little false bravado here. Standing toe-to-toe is not the way. If he doesn't pump that jab in the face, Tyson will come right through him. Tyson with the left, bounces it off the forehead of Trevor. Trevor tries to work underneath. Tyson will have no...
At that moment, Trevor had no idea what a big mistake it was to trade punches with Mike, and that his strikes weren't having much effect. At one point, even the young legend had some trouble, and the initiative shifted to Berbick. However, after the referees separated them, Tyson immediately showed what he was made of. He delivered a strong series of punches that forced his opponent to slow down.
Exactly what Tyson likes. Notice that Berbick is standing directly in front of him. That is...
After a few more exchanges, Mike landed a devastating series of counterattacks and sent his opponent reeling. From that moment on, the initiative was in the hands of the young boxing prodigy. Surprisingly, the fight didn't end in the first round, although Berbick already looked as though he had gone through 5 rounds.
Angelo Dundee, who happens to be working with Trevor Berbick, but it's not Berbick who's throwing the bunches of punches. You see him staggered.
At the beginning of the second round, it was immediately clear who the king of the ring was. Mike immediately lunged with his fists and incapacitated his opponent. Trevor tried to resist and get up after another devastating series of punches. However, the referee stopped the fight due to the latter's inability to stand.
His legs may be shut. They are. As Trevor Berbick falls back in the rope. I don't know if he's going to be able to continue. He's got the heart, but his body won't let him do what his mind wants to. And he's counted out. It'll be scored as a knockout. Mills Lane counted him out to 10. It's all over.
Mike won in the second round and became the WBC champion. In this, his 28th professional fight, the boxer set 2 world records. He became the youngest heavyweight champion and the first person whose punch forced his opponent to rise and fall 3 times in a row. In August 1987, Mike fought his 31st professional bout against Tony Tucker. It was expected that the fight would begin with Tyson's dominance and a hard-hitting assault that needed to be defended against.
I was expecting Mike Tyson to jump right on Tony Tucker. Tucker, I had figured that he should at least tie his man up, try to frustrate Mike Tyson. But is he strong enough to do that? Well, that was a good right hand by Tucker.
However, Tony, in turn, didn't let punches through and showed good dodges from his opponent's strikes. Tucker held his ground well and fought back against the aggressor. However, by the end of the round, Mike managed to land a series of punches and stun his opponent.
Tucker. Right hand, but he took a right from Tyson. And another big right by Mike Tyson. Did a very good first round for both men, and particularly for Tucker. The great left hand at the bell by Tyson.
The second round continued with beautiful exchanges of blows, and it was clear how Mike Tyson fought and demonstrated his strength.
Punches together, and he's following up with left uppercut, left hook. Led with the left uppercut that time. Just has to keep those hands up.
The fighter was at the peak of his form at that moment.
With Marvin Hagler, where after the first round, there was no question in my mind, at least, that your confidence just really surged in the after. Tyson, two good jabs. That was a good example. That uppercut.
The third round also tested the endurance and exchanges of the fighters. However, Tyson managed to land a hook on his opponent by the end of the round.
Tactics of Tony Tucker, but I'm not sure you don't disagree with those. I don't disagree at all, because Tony's been tying his man up. There was a good right hand.
The fourth round began with a good hook from Mike and ended with beautiful evasions from the latter.
Be concerned now in Tyson's corner. This is the most competitive fight he has ever been in.
By the fifth round, it was evident that both fighters were already tired from the endurance battle, and both wanted to finish the fight as quickly as possible.
In this case, normally, Tyson comes out on top. Get him up, Tucker, come on! Take it downstairs sometime. He needs to throw.
However, at the beginning of the sixth round, Mike broke protocol and started fighting before the bell rang. The fight lasted until the end and concluded with a judge's decision. Mike managed to come out on top and claim the title of undisputed world champion in the super heavyweight division. In June 1988, Tyson extended his record to 35-0 by knocking out Michael Spinks. The 45th and 47th President of the United States, Donald Trump, was also present at the fight. He was 42 years old at the time. Additionally, the global boxing legend and the man who inspired Mike to start his journey in the sport, Muhammad Ali, was also in attendance. This fight ended very quickly in the first round. Mike pounced on his opponent with his fists and didn't let him escape from his combinations. It was quite obvious that soon after, the referee counted the first knockdown.
Vicious shots to the body. Nothing really heavy landing yet, but he's taking them. The uppercut. Body shot. Down goes. Mike Spinks for the first time.
However, Michael got up, only to be knocked down again by another devastating punch, and the referee counted to 10.
Down. Here comes Mike Spinks in. He leads to the right hand. Down he goes. I don't think you get up from this. Mike Spinks is laying flat on his back. The count is up to 5. It's 6. It's 7 and 8. He won't be able to do it. It's all over. Mike Tyson has won it.
After this, Tyson added the Ring World Championship title to his WBC, WBA, and IBF belts. In 1989, the boxer extended his winning streak to 37 fights from the start of his career, disbanded his entire team, and fired Kevin Rooney. The athlete began living a wild life, spending time in bars and clubs, which negatively affected his mental and physical condition. At that point, Tyson completely abandoned training. As a result, in February 1990, Mike suffered the first defeat of his career, a knockout in the 10th round of his fight against James Buster Douglas in Japan. Unfortunately, his lifestyle caught up with him, and Iron Mike lost the fight by knockout in the 10th round. This upset is considered one of the greatest sensations in boxing history. The odds of Douglas winning were 42-1. After the loss, Tyson checked into a clinic and underwent treatment for alcoholism. The further development of Mike's career, with a record of 41-1 by mid-1991, was halted by his imprisonment. In 1992, he was convicted of rape and sentenced to 6 years in prison, of which he served 3. In 1995, after his release from prison, Tyson returned to professional boxing and fought in August. His comeback was hailed as the event of the year. In March 1996, Mike reclaimed the WBC championship title in a fight against Frank Bruno. The fight lasted 2 rounds, with the first round seeing frequent clinches and exchanges of punches, from which Tyson came out on top.
He has, and it's coming in pretty straight up.
Tyson's people wanted to bob and roll. He lets him attack and attack from the angles, and he is on.
That's the first one he felt the steam. Well, if they were worried about...
In the second round, Mike showed his experience, and that Iron Mike hadn't rusted. He knocked out his opponent in a devastating fashion and reclaimed his former glory.
Expected. He said he's not looking for the Tyson who fought McNeely and Mathis. Here's a combination uppercut by Tyson. Tyson laying it on, pouring it on. Down goes Bruno into the ropes. And it is 3. Mike Tyson is champion.
I told you, Frank, there's no doubt.
In September of the same year, the boxer won the WBA title in a bout against Bruce Seldon. This fight earned the boxer $25 million. From the first round, in typical Mike fashion, he began to pressure his opponent and attack him with strong combinations.
Bruce has used that jab, but already got hit with a hook. He's got to step to it once in a while.
A left hook by Mike Tyson already.
At one point in the first round, he managed to knock his opponent down without missing a beat.
He's standing way outside. Look how he stands straight up there. Now that's not...
Oh, down goes Bruce Seldon.
That was a punch high on the head.
It was a punch high in the head, Freddie. You're exactly right.
Hand.
He immediately knocked him down again, ending the fight.
Goes down for the first time.
He had a nice long rest there, but he has felt...
Back comes Seldon. And Tyson with a left hook, and Seldon is down on his stomach.
Steve, there are 2 unalterable truths in boxing. If you have a great...
In November 1996, Tyson fought Evander Holyfield, which was recognized as the fight of the year by the Ring magazine. Holyfield won the match by technical knockout in the 11th round. Iron Mike suffered the second defeat of his career, with 45 wins, and lost the WBA belt. You can learn more about this fight in our video about Holyfield, which is already available on our channel. In June 1997, Tyson and Holyfield had another fight, which ended in a grand scandal. In the third round, Mike first bit and then bit off a part of Evander's ear, and Holyfield retaliated by headbutting his opponent in the eyebrow. A brawl broke out, requiring security and police intervention. Later, Tyson apologized for the scandal and admitted that he was not in his right mind. As a result, Tyson was disqualified. The Athletic Commission revoked his boxing license and fined him $3 million from his $20 million purse. In October 1998, Iron Mike's license was reinstated. However, the boxer practically stopped attending training sessions and only participated in the most high-profile fights, which were held despite what journalists called his rust, due to his name and popularity. In the winter of 1999, Mike nearly lost a fight to South African Francois Botha, who had a record of 39 wins and 1 loss and was nicknamed the White Buffalo. The audience was divided into 2 camps, those who still believed in Mike's ferocity and invincibility, and those who thought the old legend should stay in the past. From the first round, Tyson threw what are called mailman combinations. They consisted of 2 left straights and 1 right. He threw them to warm up the ground and not let his opponent relax. However, it was foolish to deny that the lack of training was showing. Mike began to miss more punches compared to his previous fights. It also played a role that Mike underestimated his opponent and didn't prepare much specifically for this fight. By the end of the first round, a scuffle broke out after the bell. It was a repeat of the scenario from the Holyfield fight, where Mike lost control and didn't follow the rules. As evidence of this, he tried to break his opponent's arm. The entire fight lasted 5 rounds and ended with a powerful and beautiful knockout from Mike in the final seconds. It was clear that the legend hadn't lost his punching power, as the fairly robust Francois Botha couldn't get up after a clean hit, and even when he did, he couldn't stay on his feet. In the fall of 2000, Tyson fought Andre Gowoda, knocking him down in the first round. It was clear that Mike had gotten his act together and was showing good technique with evasions. The fight was stopped in the third round, and Tyson was awarded a well-deserved victory. Mike performed well in all 3 rounds, and all the spectators and commentators had the feeling that the legendary Iron Mike had returned. His opponent simply left the ring after the bell. However, soon the results of the boxer's doping test showed the presence of banned substances in his blood. The fight was declared a no contest. However, this did not negate his preparation and the fact that he had started training hard again. In the summer of 2002, Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis met in the ring. This fight turned out to be the highest grossing in boxing history at the time, earning $106.9 million. We could talk about this fight for a long time, as Mike had begun to rehabilitate his physical condition by that point, and at the start of the first round, he showed that he was quite fast and energetic. He launched a powerful attack, but Lewis managed to hold his ground. However, this didn't stop Tyson. The entire first round was spent under Mike's pressure, although it's worth noting how masterfully Lennox defended himself and escaped his opponent's pressure. Tyson was poorly prepared for the match, so by the third round, he began to lose ground, and in the fourth, he fell under Lewis's weight.
Tyson he is a dangerous puncher.
Lewis leads on Tyson, connects with a right hand. Tyson goes down, but Eddie Cotton says no knockdown. The force of Lewis on Tyson's back.
In the fifth round, Tyson practically didn't defend himself. All subsequent rounds followed this pattern. Mike lunged at his opponent, who in turn skillfully evaded and counterattacked.
When you play around a lot, that's when you get hurt.
After 8 rounds, on the 48th second, Lewis landed a hook and sent the beloved fighter into a knockout.
Here, but his whole life.
Oh, he's doing a good job. He's got heart. You can't take that from him. Big right hand from Lewis, and Tyson goes down for the third time in his career. 6, 7, 8, 9. It's over. Lennox Lewis cements his legacy as one of the best heavyweight champions.
A year later, Lennox secured another victory over a heavyweight, Vitaly Klitschko. In June 2005, Mike faced the then little-known Irish boxer Kevin McBride. Of course, fans bet on Tyson. But by the 5th round, the champion's fatigue began to show, and in the 6th, he sat on the floor and refused to continue the fight.
To the 6th round.
And if McBride actually wins this round, it would be a 10-7 round.
Not a knockdown, McBride's just pushing tight, and he's having difficulty getting up.
Come on. He wants Joe Cortez to help him.
He can barely make it to it.
After this bout, Mike announced that he had decided to end his sports career. On November 29, 2020, the legendary boxer made his return to the ring. 54-year-old Tyson agreed to a fight with 51-year-old Roy Jones Jr. This match was called the main event of the fall in the boxing world. The confrontation ended in a draw, The two old-timers were quite lively and delivered good combinations. Since this fight was more of an exhibition, no one took it too seriously. It was also commented on by Snoop Dogg. This match was called the main event of the fall in the boxing world. The confrontation ended in a draw. The following year, the athlete dedicated himself to training, which he updated his fans about through social media. Several times, news appeared in the press that the former champion was selecting his next opponent. But Tyson was in no rush to do so. On November 15, 2024, a professional boxing evening took place in the USA. The main event of the tournament was a fight between the legendary Mike Tyson and the famous blogger Jake Paul. Commenting on the upcoming fight, Mike noted that he was the one who had been involved in the start of Jake's boxing career. Now, according to Tyson, he intended to end it. This fight was talked about for almost the entire year of 2024. Paul and Tyson were supposed to share the ring in July, but Mike had health issues, and the fight was postponed to November. Opinions about the match varied. Many criticized the blogger for challenging a veteran who was 31 years older than him. Tyson also received criticism for openly risking his health, especially given his recent health problems. Moreover, Mike and Jake agreed that the fight would be official. Of course, there were doubts about the seriousness of the upcoming fight. Tyson had retired in 2005 and had only participated in 2 exhibition matches since then. It seemed that he was only stepping into the ring for the paycheck, and the paycheck was indeed very good. Mike earned $20 million for the fight, while Jake earned twice as much. For Paul, in addition to the money, he needed the hype and a victory over the legendary Tyson on his resume. At the weigh-in ceremony, Paul and Tyson had a heated stare-down. The blogger stepped on Mike's foot, for which he received a slap. The day before the fight, tensions reached their peak, and at some point, it really felt like the fight would be serious. In the first 4 minutes of the fight, Mike actively took the lead. It was clear that if Tyson had any chance of winning, it lay in knocking out the blogger early in the match.
Tyson requested the 2-minute rounds, wanting to see more action. He just landed the overhand right, testing the beard of Paul early.
And everybody was saying, nice shot by Jake Paul.
Right hand by Paul, that is his most effective.
Landed his jab right there that really knocked Jake back. I think that's his most effective punch of the round. But then we see
move over to your left so I can see
the right hand grazes Mike Tyson by Jake Paul. That would have been a good shot.
In the first 2 rounds, Mike applied decent pressure and forced Jake to simply run away from serious exchanges.
Tyson coming out aggressively. Tyson 7 of 34, 18%. So Tyson is averaging more punches than he did in that fight with McBride and in the exhibition against Roy Jones, where he averaged 24 punches around.
Several times, Mike caught Paul with a jab, exploded with his signature hooks on the move, and demonstrated his favorite head movements. But of course, he lacked the explosive leg power that Mike was famous for in his peak years. The younger opponent avoided dangerous situations, ran around for 4 minutes, firing off jabs, and as expected, Mike got tired. The legend lasted for 2 decent rounds, and at 58 years old, in a fight with a healthy guy who was 31 years younger, that's pretty good. After that, Paul took control of the initiative. At times, he landed very solid shots on Tyson, and it seemed like Mike couldn't avoid serious consequences. In the last 10 seconds of the fight, Paul bowed, expressing his gratitude to Tyson. It was clear that Tyson wasn't entirely satisfied with his performance, although he made it to the judge's decision, unlike some former UFC stars. Of course, such fights are disappointing, especially when they are announced as official, and the boxers hype them up to the maximum. Mike proudly stood his ground through all the rounds and endured the fight against an opponent who was 20 years his junior. This marks the end of Mike Tyson's professional career for now. The life story of the popular heavyweight has been the basis for several documentary films. These include the mid-90s film Fallen Champ, the untold story of Mike Tyson, and the 2000s works Beyond the Glory in Tyson. In 1999, the boxer made his first appearance in a feature film titled Play It to the Bone. The main roles in the comedy were played by Antonio Banderas and Woody Harrelson. The collaboration with filmmakers turned out to be successful, and that same year, the boxer participated in the filming of the gangster drama Black and White. In the new century, the athlete often delighted fans with his film work. Mike also appeared in the famous sports film by Sylvester Stallone, Rocky Balboa. The image of the world-famous heavyweight was used in the comedy The Hangover. On the set of Grudge Match, Tyson got to work again with Sylvester Stallone, as well as the inimitable Robert De Niro. In 2017, the champion starred in the film The Chinese Salesman, where he acted alongside Steven Seagal. In this action movie, the athlete took on the role of a former general named Kaba. Previously, the boxer mainly appeared as himself. In 2018, Mike Tyson joined the main cast of the new action film Kickboxer, Retaliation, where he starred alongside Alain Moussi, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Christopher Lambert. Mike Tyson also authored the book Undisputed Truth, in which he described the details of his own biography and introduced readers to unknown facts about his private life. The book was first published in 2013. 4 years later, the former champion released another work, Iron Ambition, Personal Life. Mike Tyson's personal life is as turbulent as his career. It is known that at one point, the young boxer dated the young model Naomi Campbell. Several photos of the couple remain in the public domain. The athlete's first wife was actress Robin Givens. They married in 1988, but the marriage lasted only a year. After the divorce, the ex-wife received $10 million from Mike. In 1991, after the heavyweight attended a beauty pageant for black contestants, he was accused of raping one of them, Desiree Washington. Despite the fact that the girl went up to his room herself, she later claimed she was raped. Tyson was sentenced to 6 years in prison but was released in the spring of 1995 for good behavior. While in prison, Mike converted to Islam. After a long break, Tyson decided to marry again in 1997. His wife was Monica Turner, who worked as a pediatrician at Georgetown University Hospital. The couple lived together for 6 years. They had a daughter, Raina, and a son, Amir. In 2003, Monica announced that she was divorcing Mike, citing her husband's infidelity as the reason. She wasn't mistaken. Back in 2002, Tyson's mistress had given birth to his son, Miguel Leon. After the divorce, the boxer began living with his lover, who in 2005 gave birth to his daughter, Exodus. The girl tragically died when she was 4 years old. In June 2009, the 42-year-old champion married again. His third wife was 32-year-old Lakiha Spicer. The couple had a son, Morocco, and a daughter, Milan. In February 2019, a music festival, the Kind Music Festival, was held on the grounds of the former world boxing champion's estate, Tyson Ranch Resort, in Desert Hot Springs, California. Today, Mike Tyson remains true to his imperfect but bright reputation. In the summer of 2023, Mike became the trainer and cornerman for former UFC champion Francis Ngannou in his fight against Tyson Fury. Tyson's protege lost by split decision, but thanked his mentor. Awards and titles: winner of the Junior Olympic Games, winner of the Golden Gloves tournament, most promising boxer, according to the Ring magazine, WBC World Champion title, Boxer of the Year according to the Ring magazine, Best Foreign Athlete according to the BBC, WBA World Champion title, IBF World Champion title, the Ring World Champion title, Sports Personality of the Year according to the BBC, inducted into the World Boxing Hall of Fame, inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame, included in the Guinness Book of World Records as the youngest heavyweight world champion at 20 years and 144 days, included in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most quick knockouts, 9 knockouts in less than 1 minute, inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. In conclusion, despite how scandalous Iron Mike has been throughout his history, it would be foolish to deny the legendary fighter status he holds, as even children know him. We hope you enjoyed this video and will definitely subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and like this video. Thank you for watching.